Hello, you price action traders. I got a lot of questions lately about my indicator, so I will try to answer some of those in this video, and I also have some new stuff to show you, so let's go over that as well. And yeah, if you have any questions which may not be answered in this video, just contact me. It can be on Tradedevils on Facebook or just this channel, and I'll try to answer them. The indicator is already used by a lot of people, and one of the questions I get lately is if I add the indicator to another chart, it's not working. So here I have the NQ, and notice that I did add the indicator to it. And as you can see, there are almost no entries, which is weird, right? But the reason for this is that you need to change the settings a bit for other assets like NQ or CL or, well, stocks maybe, I don't know what you trade. But you need to change the settings a bit. And why is this? Well, just look at an average bar like this one in the NQ. And you'll see this one is like 64 ticks on a 2000 tick chart. And even this smaller one is 50 ticks. So these are pretty big bars if you count them in ticks. And in the indicator settings, we have a setting here. So I'll go to the indicator, which says a max stop loss. Anything above that will not be shown. So if you have an entry which requires a stop loss of, in this case, more than 36 ticks, then it will be filtered out. And that's one of the reasons why you won't see any trades on, for example, NQ. So let's just increase this to 360. See what happens. And if we get some more entries, okay. We do get some more entries, as you can see. So that's step one. If you are trying to use this on another chart than the ES, always make sure that you start with a big stop loss to see all the entries, and from there you can adjust it lower, which is to the appropriate one needed on the chart. Now you might ask, what should I put in here then for any chart? Because I now just chose a random number 360, but is this the correct number? Well, you can always click on the stats, like here. Why is it not showing any stats? Oh yeah, it's showing on this chart. Now let's take it on the ES. You can always maybe move it in a duplicate window. That will be easier, I guess. Yeah, so I have the NQ here. If I press now stats, there it is. Then you will see that in this case the average stop loss needed is 33 ticks. So I would suggest to put it a little bit higher, but that's in the first indication for your stop loss. Okay, so let's go back to the NQ. Another thing which might filter out entries on your chart is your position sizing. So again, if you go to the indicator settings, if you put it on a new chart and you are missing entries, start with just position sizing contracts. That will always show all the entries, no matter how your position sizing is. And from there you can go to other ones. So that's about the about using the indicator on other charts and how to get it to work. Another question I had is what is the session filter doing? So if you go back to the indicators settings, you can see a session filter in here. And basically what it does is very simple. It allows you to filter out any entries which are not in the trading session. So you can define your trading session here. In this case, it's from the open to the close. Any trades before or after these times will not be shown. So if you can see it on the chart here. The light gray is this session, and the dark is outside the session. So if I enable the session filter, these trades will be filtered out. So let's let it recalculate, and you can see it's still calculating. Wait a minute. Yeah, so it's done. You can see no entries here, and entries in the session are here. Why this might be useful is when you want to use the statistics, because of course if you enable the statistics, it will only count the entries visible, and that way you can filter out entries which you wouldn't trade anyway because you're not trading during those hours. So that's where the session filter is used for. Another thing you might want to let me disable the session filter again. You might want to look at is the commissions. Many people are trading the micros. So, for example, the micro NQ or the micro ES, and these have different commissions than the standard ES or standard NQ. It doesn't really matter for live trading, but if you again are using the statistics, then you want to be sure that you use the correct commissions because they are used to calculate the statistics. You can put them here. The default commissions are fine if you have a lifetime license of NinjaTrader and you're trading the main contracts, so the ES or the NQ or any other. But if you are trading the micros, or you are using a lease version of NinjaTrader or a free version of NinjaTrader, then you need to change this. You can find the commissions simple by going to NinjaTrader commissions, click on the link, and here you get a PDF with all the commissions. So for example, for the ES, you'll see that's $1.99 for the lifetime version, which makes it $3.98 for the for full round trip. But you can see for the lease it's a little bit higher. But if you go to the micro ES, like here, you can see it's 46 cents instead of 1.99. So that's something to look at. If you're using the stats, always make sure that your commissions are set correctly. Another question I got lately was about the position sizing. It was not really clear for some people, so I will try to explain it once more. And let's zoom in a little bit, and let's see. This might be a good section. Let's see, do we have another one? The problem is my account. I'm using a SIM account, as you can see. I'm in playback mode, but there is not much value, not much amount of cash in it. So I'm only getting 1 contracts everywhere. Okay, well, we can change that, no problem. I'm just going to increase the like this. Okay, so that should work. And now we should see different contracts. Okay, that's better. So about the position sizing, I tried to explain it last time already. If you are trading just the same amount of contracts every trade, then you can just put it on contract, specify the number of contracts you trade. So let's say you're trading 5 contracts for every trade, then you can put it like here, and it will show up, and it will of course also use that for the statistics. So here you can see every trade is using 5 contracts everywhere. Now lots of people are using a runner, so we must determine how many of those 5 contracts we take out at 4 ticks and how many we will use as a runner. You can set that up by changing the contract's scalp percentage, and what that means is that in this case 75% of your contracts will be used for a scalp, so they will be taken out at 4 ticks, and the rest, the other 25%, will go on as a runner. So if you, for example, let's take it easy, let's say you trade 10 contracts and you put this at 70%, then 7 contracts will be used for the scalp, and 3 contracts will be used for a runner. So that way you can play with this, and of course again in the statistics it will use those settings. So if you have 10 contracts, then 4 ticks will be out, 7 contracts will be out at 4 ticks, and the other 3 at when the runner ends. So that's the basic version, and I think most people will trade that way, just using a fixed number of contracts. But I really would like you to think about using your percentage of capital, and because that's, I think, a better position sizing than using the fixed contracts, and I'll try to explain why. So let's say we want to use 5% of our account for every trade. Now you can see I'm using a playback mode. My account is 10,000 euros or dollars. So if we calculate how much that then is, 10,000 5 is $500 per trade. So for 5%, we risk 5% of our account, which makes it $500 per trade. And by setting this up, you will now see that the number of contracts you can trade varies. So in this case, in this short, you could have traded 2 contracts. In this long, you could have traded 4 contracts. In this long, you could have traded 3 contracts, and here 4 contracts. So you can see that it differs. And that's because the stop loss is different. For example, if we look at this trade, and I can show you the exact one. So it's from here up. I mean, this is the entry. And well, okay, this is a failure, but you can see this is the signal bar, and this signal bar has a risk of 14 ticks. So the bar is 12 ticks, our stop loss is 1 tick above, and our entry is 1 tick below, so we have a total risk of 14 ticks. Now, if we're going to measure that, this would be our entry, that would be our stop. This will mean that we have a risk of $175 per contract. Now, if we say we want to trade 5% of our account for every trade, which was $500, then indeed we could trade 2 contracts max and not more. So we stay within the, so in total it would be like 350, a risk of 350, a risk of $350 here. So that's the 2 contracts. Now, if we, for example, look at this trade, where we can see, okay, we can trade 4 contracts. That's because the risk is lower here. Here we have a risk of 9 ticks, and there we had a risk of 14 ticks. And if we again look at those 9 ticks, and we go 1 tick below and 1 tick above, like here, then we have a risk of $112 per contract. So indeed we can trade 4 contracts, and then we are still within our $500 risk per trade. So that's how the position sizing works. You look at your amount. You choose how many percent of your account you want to risk per trade. You put that in. So you put that in right here. You choose. I want to choose a percentage of my capital. You choose your number of percent, and then it will automatically calculate the number of contracts you can trade for every trade. Now, some people combine charts. So what they do is they have a ES they are looking on, but they are trading the micros, and you can do that by simply adding the micros as a second chart. The indicator will support that, and in that case it will always use the contract with the lowest value. So in this case then the micros, even though you're looking at an ES chart. So that's supported. Let's see, what else did we have for questions? I got some questions what these I offsets mean. Well, I'm not sure if you ever tried it, but basically it's the vertical distance between the wick of the bar and the text. So if I put this, for example, to 120, you will see that when it's recalculated, it's now up there. And the same goes for the higher high, higher low, which I now have turned off, but you can also choose where you want to draw that. So the higher high, higher low. If I turn it on, you can now see it's on top of it. So maybe we put it like 80. And now it's a little bit better. So that's the Y offsets. And then I think we are done with this part, and we can look at what's new, because we did add some new stuff to it. One of the things is you might see some more buttons in here. So and those simply enable you to show or hide things like the 0 and the 1s, or the risk we saw, the risk in number of ticks, the number of contracts, and the statistics, of course. So that's for makes life a little bit easier. What else did we change? If we now add a, let's see, where is it? 21 EMA. Then you will notice that the if you enable the show trades at key entry points only, that the EMA is now a key entry point. So just to recap, if you enable this button, it will only show entries at key entry points. Key entry points are the EMA, and any entry which appears on a trend line or trend channel. So let's see if I can draw one. Let's add my toolbar. Where is my toolbar? There it is. Okay. And let's, I'm not sure if this is probably not really correct, but something like this. So, and I guess there is a little channel here. The overshoot, new low. No, okay, this is fine. So if you now enable the key entry points, you will see lots of entries disappearing, and those are the entries which are not occurring at a key entry point. So here, this entry is occurring at this line, at this trend channel, so that's a key entry point, and the same goes here. And notice this is updated real time. If you draw those swings, it will be updated real time. And the same goes here. And of course the entries on the EMA are also key entry points. So that's new, the key entry points at the EMA. Another thing we added, let's take this out a little bit and go to this section, for example, is the two-legged pullback lines. Yeah, this may be a good section. And basically what it does is it shows you the lines for each entry. So you can see we have a new low here, it goes up, there's our first entry short, and there is our second entry short. And by enabling the two-legged pullbacks, it will draw all the lines for you, which may be easier for you to see where it found the highs and the lows. So that's the two-legged pullback. And it also draws those in real time, of course. So let's see, I'm in playback mode, so I can simply start playing. Let's see if we get some entries. Let's spin it up a little bit. It's now at 9:14, 15. Market opens at 9:30. So let's speed it a little bit up. And you can see it's now finding this one. It found a high. It found a lower high, so that makes that a possible first entry. And let's let it play, and you will see what happens. That goes very fast. And this is not the best example because we have both a short and a long at the same time, which makes it a little bit difficult to understand. So let's wait for another one. Okay, so there we have another one. Excuse me. It found this low, this high. Here we have the break lower, and as you can see, it draws the trend lines, and the one in yellow is not confirmed yet, and also the stop loss, open and take profits are not confirmed yet. So that's why they are in yellow. But if price now comes down to this point, you will see the red dot here. You'll have a short trade, and if it continues higher, then the yellow line will just follow along. So let's see what it does. It goes higher, and you'll see the red dot moving from here to here. So now our entry is here, and let's keep on going. And there it is. We have a second entry short right there. And I'm not sure why it didn't show up, so maybe there's still something wrong, because I would have expected a second entry short here, but yeah, there it is. So there's still a little bug in it. I need to fix before the next before releasing this. But yeah, you can see the lines now, and yeah, makes it a little bit easier maybe for beginners to see the two-legged pullbacks. Another thing people asked was traps. Now you can't predict a trap, but what you can do is, if we wait for an entry, let's see, again this is congestion, it's going to be 2, yeah, so here we have a nice one. Because a trap is basically just a filled entry. So if we look here, we have an possible long which goes from our first entry, and then if we go up to here we have our second entry, and I'm not sure if it's really going that way, but let's suppose it goes here and we get into the long, and then we go back and we hit the stop loss. That is basically how you could take the trap. So if you, let's see what it does, if we can use that. No, it's so let's hope it goes further up. Keeps on going down, 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 down. Okay, well in this case it went straight away. So let's find another entry. Let's see if we can find a good trap. So here would be a possible trap. We are in a second entry short at the moment. And our, oh no, that was already also hit its target. No, so it's always difficult to find those traps. Here we have one. Yeah, I think this is a correct trap. So this is a second entry long. We entered right here. Here is our take profit target, and our stop loss would be here. Now the market is a little bit going down, so we could say, well, maybe this second entry long fails, and I will going to put my
order submitted.
My entry here, because if it fails to reach this this target and comes down and takes out stop loss, then it's indeed a trap, and that would be right here. So that's how you can use the indicators for traps. Of course, it has to trigger first. So if it's not triggering, then I'm going to move it a little bit. Yeah, so that entry never triggered. And it's a congestion again. It's always difficult to show these things in real time because the market just does what it wants to do and never gives you a nice entry for demoing. But let's continue a little bit more, see if we get a better entry. So we have a first entry short there. Okay, so here we have another one. Let's put on the lines. Basically we have two now, but focus on the red. We have a first entry short, market goes up. So if it breaks the red dot, we are in a short, but the market is going up, so I will go long here instead of short there. And let's see if we get this trade or if it just continues to go higher. Come on. Yeah. No, still not. So this would be a perfect example.
Order cancelled.
So we have a well, kind of a channel. It's not really defined yet, but you can see at least the market is moving up. We got a second entry short right here, but we're looking for longs. So we're not going to take the short, we're going to take the long, and if this entry fails, so I'm going to put it up right here. Buy.
Order submitted.
Now would I've taken this in a real situation? Nah, I don't think so, because in real life you can see it's a little bit congested right here. So I wouldn't take this in real life, but for an example, this is fine. So let's hope it fails and it goes up further on.
Order filled.
And there we are in, and now we are basically we traded a trap. So put this one here and see what it does. I can just speed it up. It either wins or not.
Target filled.
First target went fill. Yeah, stop.
Filled.
Okay, and our stop loss was hit. So that's how you. That's basically how you can trade traps. In this case, again, let's recap. We saw the market going up. We had a second entry short, and instead of taking the short, we took the long the moment the second entry short failed. And that's how you can use the traps with the indicator. One last thing we changed in the indicator is in a previous version, if you pressed F5, sometimes you didn't see all the historical trades. Some were just gone, and that's because how NinjaTrader works. Basically, NinjaTrader for the past entries just gives us the lows and the highs and not the tick data. I managed to change that a bit, so in this version, no matter if you every time you press F5 or you add the indicator to a new chart, it will always show all the previous trades as well. So that's a small bug which has been fixed. And I guess that's all we have for today. Let's go over it one more time, see if I missed something. Don't think so. We already explained all these in detail the last time. So yeah, so that's it for today. I'll put the link below where you can find more information about the indicator, where you can buy it. If you want to, this is also a good suggestion. If you want to try it out, we have a 5-day free trial. All you have to do is go to Tradedevils, Tools and Indicators, and here you can click, or here you can click. And when you do that, you can fill in your details. And when you have done that, you will get the link to the download. And you get all our indicators for 5 days free. You can test them, and if you like them, you can buy it. If you don't like them, you throw them away again. If you want to buy it, you can go to, again, indicators, browse indicators, and here you have all our indicators. And if we scroll down a little bit more, then always on the bottom there's the price action, with also an explanation video, although that's a little bit older version. We have to redo this one, but here you can find more info and of course buy it if you really like it. So that's it for today. See you later again, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them for you. Bye bye.